That's where provision and priority work fantastically together.
Chris, let's talk about optimizing, right? Once you know what model you want to choose in Foundry, how do you optimize it for the business that you need to run with that use case?
Yeah, it's a great question. And we talk about it with customers every day. And I think you
time.
really hit the critical decisions that customers have to make as they move into production and beyond. We'll talk about data.
Okay.
So data processing, data residency, we provide a couple of different options there. So first off, when your resource region in Azure, the data is always going to be stored and reside within that geography.
Okay.
No matter which deployment processing option you take, which means that once your data is stored in storage, you know where it is. Then for processing, we offer 3 different options that give you a trade-off between the access and availability of models and throughput that you can get with cost and residency, essentially. And so at the top, you have our global offering. This allows processing anywhere in the world, which means that we have the widest available capacity. We are able to give you all the models. We're able to give the highest level of throughput and really great performance because we're able to balance traffic across that global blackboard. Then once you say you want a little bit more control over your data, you have a concept called data zones. Data zones are a multi-geography construct that we've created to allow customers to have assurances that their data is only processed within a set location. That means, similarly, you get a wide access to models, you get a little bit less throughput often than global, and you tend to pay a little bit higher. Then the third option is going all the way down to the resource region, which means processing happens within your Azure geography. And as you can imagine, capacity is generally a very hot topic in the industry today. It's constrained. And so when you get down to regional, you're going to be trading off model availability, the amount of throughput you can get to have that regional processing guarantee. And it's going to come at the highest cost of the 3 options.
That makes sense to me then. It sounds like you really have understood the constraints of the market.
And we're really designing around start as simple as you can and go as complex as you must. And so we gear towards starting with that global offering because it is going to give you the best experience. You're going to have the easiest path to iteration and really seeing value. And then you start to layer in requirements as you have them.
And I know you talked a lot about performance, right? So even within those different kind of geographical decisions, right, or data requirements, customers can actually choose different types of performance as well?
Yeah, so performance, now we're talking about the speed at which we're able to generate responses as. And that typically trades off the speed of the call, the amount of throughput that you get, and then the cost. And so you have those 3 variables that you're playing with. And what we're aiming to do is provide solutions that hit the common scenarios we have in market. And so we have one extreme, very fast, low latency. We call it our priority processing. It's an SLA-backed offering that provides the fastest responses that we offer. You're going to pay a little bit of a premium, but you get that latency guarantee as a result. And then in the middle, we call it our standard. This is what we think of as the balanced offering. We're balancing the speed and the cost for you to what we believe hits the majority of use cases. And this is, if you know nothing else, start there. Right? It's going to be what most users will expect and be sufficient for most use cases. And then as you start to get a little bit less latency sensitive, we have our batch offering. And the batch offering is asynchronous. It lets you do very, very high throughput, but it's only going to respond in about 24 hours. And it comes at a very big discount. And so you're able to get higher throughput, less kind of per call speed because it's 24 hours at a very big discount. And so you're able to play off those 3 variables to figure out how to optimize your solution to your business needs.
And I could see how customers, even within one use case, right, even within one business model, they actually might have need for all 3. But it sounds like as the customer learns more about their requirements, they can optimize the decisions at each point, right, and mature with their offering choice as the business case matures. You mentioned performance, but throughput is a big conversation, right, with customers, especially as they don't really have a sense of how much they're going to need at any one point. So how does a customer optimize there?
Yeah, this is top of mind with everyone, right? It's in the news daily. The world does not have enough capacity, not enough GPUs, not enough CPUs in the world today to satisfy the amount of demand that we're seeing, frankly. And we talked through priority, standard, and batch. These are what we call our pay-as-you-go offerings, or pay per call. You basically pay transactionally. Mirrored to that, we have what we call our provisioned offers. This is an hourly-based billing model. and it is our highest scale offer. We support our largest customers on this. It provides guaranteed throughput with that latency-based SLA. And so you're gonna know that you have that throughput available to you before you start calling. So if you're in a mission critical workload where you need to know that you're going to have the throughput there for you at a premium speed, at a high scale, Provisioned is our solution for you. Let's take a scenario. So I am building my application. I'm having success. So I started with global standard because I didn't have any additional requirements. Now I'm starting to see, hey, I need premium speed. I need to make sure my speed is as fast as possible. And maybe I'm starting to hit a high enough scale. And so I can go in here, look at our deployment here. You can see my traffic that we're running on it. And you can see I can start to explore the different deployment options. And it will start to tell me my cost trade-offs that I'm having and start to recommend that, hey, I might want to think about provision because my traffic is large enough scale in the right traffic shape to be of benefit to me. It's not just a one size fits all. You want to have assurances that that capacity is there, and you might have a premium workload, but there's always inconsistencies. And that way, provision isn't going to solve the solution fully. And that's where provision and priority work fantastically together. And so you get that assurances that you're not going to get throttled back, your application will run, but you will switch different deployment experiences as you run out and consume different amounts that you've allocated.
And Foundry has figured out ways to help customers optimize as their workloads grow. But you can go into Microsoft Foundry now, work with the UI, and understand how to optimize your own workload. Come and check it out.